Sorry, before I get into the power inverter install, I just had to show this, that I move my base knob and my remote switch for my amplifier to that little unused switch panel, and I'm just really proud of that. That was kind of a pain in the butt, and yeah, it turned out okay. Not the best. I could have, knowing what I know, I could have made it a little better, but not too bad. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so now I'll get into how I did the power inverter install. Okay, today I'm just going to show you a quick little video of how I installed the power inverter in my glove box. I guess first step is kind of obvious. Take out the glove box, which is really simple. Next, I just traced the outline of the power inverter, and then I'm going to just transfer that to the glove box to cut out the bottom. Now I got a power inverter that's just the right size. I think I got it off of Amazon. It's an 800 watt. I don't think I'll really ever use anything more than that. I kind of just wanted it almost as a just in case if I need to use 12 volt. I also have a 500 watt PA, amplified PA speaker that I sometimes use for concerts and things like that. So I wanted to cut the hole out of the bottom, since the fans are in the bottom, for the cooling, and also because that power inverter is just about 1/4 of an inch too big. So it sits it down just slightly enough so that it fits. And with the power inverter in there, I still have room to store things. Not much, but maybe just the manual and some napkins and things like that. And so I'm just transferring it, and then once that's done, time to get out the old trusty Dremel and just cut away the bottom of the plastic. And this way also, when I was doing it, I didn't know if it would work, and if it didn't, worst case scenario is I just patch up the bottom of the glove box, and nobody ever knows the difference. I could have transferred the plate of the power inverter to somewhere else and just kept the guts of it behind the dash. Or whoa, remember to turn off your Dremel, kids. It's a lesson out there. And safety goggles. Once that was all cut out, I went to my trusty vault of random screws and found 4 that would be sufficient to hold it down. So then next step is just drill the holes out enough so the screws can go in, screw them in, and secure it. Okay, next step required me to use the Dremel again as the contact points for the positive and negative. I had to do a little trimming of the plastic As you can see there, the ones that it came with, have these little tiny ones that kind of slide in there and you screw them in. But for me to use power wire with a D-ring on it, it needed to have a flat surface so the D-ring could sit flush against it. So just took the Dremel, just grinded away all the plastic, and then once that was done, I could bring it over and basically install it. Now that the plastic is ground down, I can take the D-ring, see if it sits flush against the metal, just to test it. And it does. And then just using the supplied hardware, I screwed it in. And then this is I believe this is the ground, so then that one I just attached to the ground for the amp. The power is already in the Jeep, ready to go. And once I got it in the Jeep, I actually had to cut some of the knobs down. As you can see, those knobs are a little long, so I had to cut them down to get it to fit when I closed the glove box door. So as you can see, I kind of tried to run both lines parallel to each other. There's not much room when it closes underneath for it to close flush if you don't. That's basically just how it's hooked up, and that's the bottom view of it. And then you just put your glove box in just like normal. One issue I did have with running the wires like that is every time I closed the glove box door, the wires kind of hung down and got in the way. So to remedy that, I took kind of like a screw with a washer attached to it and just drilled that in there to hold the wires in place, and it works pretty well. And there's with the ground attached. So to test this out, I plugged in a work light that I have, an LED work light, which I highly recommend, by the way. It's great. I think I got it at Home Depot. And turn it on, green light, turn the light on, boom, voila, it works. If you enjoyed this video and it helped you out and gave you some ideas and any of my previous ones, please subscribe. That's really my only motivation to keep making these. I just do them for fun and to help fellow Jeepers or anybody else out. So please hit the subscribe button, and I'll make another one soon.